no fucking time. I'm having issues today. Oh my gosh. Well, as you guys can see, I'm in a freaking bath towel and a hair towel. I just got out of the shower. But I realized that I think I was, I don't know if I'm only a day behind in the magic. Let's see. Make all your wishes come true. Okay, so day 12 was the last one I did then. Okay. All right, guys. Give me a minute to go throw some clothes on. Sorry, no peep show. I'm not that kind of person for one, and YouTube wouldn't allow it for another. Well, I was gonna fucking I was gonna get out the drill. Dragon. Hey, Dragon. How you doing? Sorry it's taken me so long to get on. Usually I'm on at night. But you're one of the ones from the No One's Home or No One Alone on Christmas, I believe. And here lately, just to give you an update, if you are still on, please let me know. But yeah, for the okay. The ads and stuff, and yeah, I can relate because right now, I mean, for one, I mean, even though for a lot of people it seems like, you know, the amount is like I know, like for instance on TikTok, I think it is you have to have like 1,000 followers plus or something like that to before you can start getting like monetary donations and stuff. And well, I don't know 1,000 people, but I'm grateful for everybody that has subbed my channel. Hopefully, I'll be able to get on at least part of the time during the day, you know, like now. But here lately, because of what's been going on with Chris, who you met when we did the Christmas thing, first and foremost, sadly, my son Noah he went back to Mansfield. Last I knew, he was living with his brother. Yeah, Beardo. Yep. But Noah went back to Mansfield. As far as I know, he's living with his brother still. And Chris has been in and out of the hospital so much, man. I can't keep up. I can't keep track. Here, the most recent, he was in there for like 6 days. He's been home for 2. Didn't sleep for the 2 days, really. You know, and then when I was getting up this morning at 9 o'clock, he was going to bed. He didn't get up until after 3. But, you know, I know that he needed to sleep and everything. I totally get that. It's a lot of trauma to go through. And, you know, I'm sure it was tough for him to be up there 6 days, you know, because he was in the cancer center, or the cancer ward or whatever. And I mean, yeah, the rooms are nice. Your people can spend the night up there if you want. Free movies all over the place, but they don't let you get out of bed a whole lot to do much, you know. So I get that, you know, they're trying to make him go easy because, you know, it's a lot to go through. Yeah. So this time he got a pneumonia in his left lung again. And unless I'm mistaken, that's been like the 3rd time that he's gotten pneumonia in his lung. And it's always the left one. And he's gotten various different infections off and on in the same lung. And I, you know, the stress of all this, because I mean, I'm not trying to be an unsupportive, you know, partner or anything, but the stress from all this is kicking my keister. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I can't end up in the hospital because then there ain't going to be anybody here with him. And I feel like, you know, I'm just overwhelmed. You know, I've got too much coming down on me at once. And I feel like I'm out in the middle of the ocean and I'm trying to keep my head above water. And every turn, it seems like I'm sinking, you know. But, I most of the time I have to get on like real late at night, like sometimes after 10, 11. I mean, heck, I was up one day until like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I don't even remember how long that live stream was because I was just trying to play catch up, with everybody because I know that different people are on, different times. And some of us, we're living in different time zones because like we're in Eastern Standard Time. So that's all I know there. I know that the UK is 6 hours ahead of us, and stuff like that. But my knowledge is limited in that fact. But because I wasn't able to touch on it really much with the No One Alone for Christmas deal, some of the and please don't mistake this for I'm dissing on my partner or anything like that. That's not what's going on at all. It's just I wish that people could see the other side of things, the side of him that I have to deal with every day and have for the past 18 years. Because with him being autistic, fully functional though, highly functional, highly intelligent, high IQ, all that stuff, they tend to have angry outbursts. Like, and here lately, because his health has been compromised. Yeah, I'll try. You'll have to help me find my way to you. You said Beardo, because I mean, I've never even gotten on those. Most of the time when we get on those, Krista's with me. But I just wish that him and I could develop an understanding and have a better communication between us. But I really wanted to, go into at least a couple if I could, just to keep the channel interesting and to, not that I need to show anybody, but just how much this whole paranormal supernatural thing means to me. And then me being a witch, being Wiccan, being white witch, Yeah. So, I tried to teach my son Noah, but he was kind of, it's like one minute he wants to do it, the next minute he don't. So when you can't even figure out if you want to do it or not, then you're just confusing the person that's trying to teach you because they don't know if they should go forward or not. And he's only 19. So he's at a very vulnerable age right now. So he's got to be even more careful because you just don't know sometimes. And I would still love to get together a team. I've got a lot of good stories, experiences, very real experiences that I've had with, I think somebody asked me if I've ever felt threatened by an entity. And well, yes, I have, more than once because, because I'm a good guy and, my light shines bright. That's like a beacon to them. That's a beacon to the dark ones that want to swoon in and just devour you and get you swayed to their side. And, that's really hard, especially what can at least make some of us more vulnerable is when you have a partner that is unsupportive, that is snapping my head off almost at every turn. It seems sometimes he's been in the hospital so many times that they've actually talked about putting him in a home, putting him in assisted living. And if that happens, I'm in trouble because what am I going to do? How am I going to live here? I can't pay over $600 in bills every month and $465 in rent. That's over $1,000. And it's like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, Yeah, exactly. So with Noah being unstable too, because he may not have shown it really a whole lot in the short time we was on for Christmas. But the poor boy, he's been through a lot. He's got mental issues. He's autistic himself, I think, to a point, ADHD as well. And I tried it from, let's see, November 28th to like January 20th, I think it was, or something like that. And I was such a basket case that he had to go. I mean, I had literally, it got so bad and so stressful around here that I reverted back to being a child. And my mentality was that of a child because it overwhelmed and I couldn't take it. I love my son dearly. But because I didn't raise him, see, he was raised by a whole different other family. And I very seldom would I even get to see him, and I really had high hopes that, we would be able to keep him here. But this is a little 1-bedroom place, and that's just, not easy to do, as well as the landlord. If they find out he's living here, well, guess what? I'm in trouble, because now they would use that as an excuse to raise my rent even more, giving me even less to live on. And I can't, now I got to take care of Chris. My mom wants me to take care of her. She's 94. So I'm torn between, going over there part of the time when I can, rationing the gas, because Chris, has so many doctor appointments. Like about a week or so ago, he literally had 11 appointments in 1 week. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm going to lose it. And then I ain't going to be good to nobody. He might be back, as a matter of fact. Let me see. Because I know he went to the store for something. Okay, no, that's somebody visiting, I guess. Sometimes when I hear the door, I'm not sure if it is somebody visiting or if it's him coming back. He went to pawn his camera again to get, I think, first he said $60, then he changed it to $70, and it's like, but anyway, just to keep things interesting, and so I don't overly focus on that short version, there's a lot going on. I'm extremely stressed because of it. And even though, and I greatly appreciate this, I really do, for everybody that said we make a cute couple, trust me, we don't. We don't. We are completely north and south of each other, because I don't know how to be in a successful romantic relationship with somebody, because I've never learned myself how. I've never taught myself how, and I don't exactly have good role models, to look at, to use as like, okay, I went with this guy and this happened and stuff like that. And so I've always had a lot of bad luck in, relationships, because when me and Chris when we got together, we both had baggage. We brought that into the relationship, and that's just a bomb waiting to go off right there. And I don't know how we've lasted this long. Yeah, exactly. And if that happens, like I said, I'm in trouble, man, because like right now, the only thing that I have going for me, and I just got 30 leads mailed out, so I don't know how long it might take before I even get any responses. But I'm trying to do a postcard business. It's mail order stuff, so I know a lot of people don't like it. It is a pyramid type thing. So you sign in under one person, and then other people sign in under you, and as the levels go up, as more people join you and sign under you and use your ID number, then, you get a cut of that money. And this is just some of what I've tried to do to make some extra money, just so we can afford to live, because we've got maintenance for the car. We've got, gas. We have to ration gas because, like I said, all the appointments sometimes. And, it's like there's some days when, like, people are like pounding on my door, blowing up my phone. Yes, it is. And because I haven't had any positive role models, to refer to, or to maybe gain some kind of a strength or knowledge with, and I mean, I'm to the point now where I almost wish they would put him in a home. And I hate to say that, I really do, because that's still going to leave me with, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to even remotely pay this off? I have no clue. I can't work. I can't get a job, because if I do that, then SSI is going to start yanking my money, Yeah. And it's like, so I try to educate myself. I try sharing things with Chris. Like he says, share your life with me. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? I thought we were already doing that. And he said, tell me how your day went, because there are times when, yes, I absolutely have to get out of the house, or I'm going to snapping at people myself. And, I have a bad habit of stuffing it down. And that's, I become my own bomb ready to go off, and I'm the one holding the lighter and the fuse right there, like, I swear I'm about to go. And I've got my brother, constantly calling me a lot of times and wanting to talk to somebody, because he's living alone and he don't have a girlfriend. And, My mom, I mean, she gets left over there at her place all the time. And the guy that's living with her is more like a friend of the family. He sees her as a mom, and sees me as a daughter. It's weird, but he doesn't feel romantically for my mom. But she does for him, and it's a mess, So he's gone all day and he leaves her there alone. And then that puts the pressure on me. So not only am I expected to take care of Chris now, because he can't do a lot of the stuff that he once could, himself, and, taking care of my mom, answering the phone when people call, answering the door when they knock. Hey, you want to get together? You want to do this? Hey, you want to go there? Hey, it's like, whoa, time out. Gotta breathe. And, I don't get a lot of time to myself. And, because me and Chris have always had this communication barrier thing, I don't know what the hell to do to fix it. I'm winging it here. I'm trying to educate myself, and he has tried himself. He would he would find something on the internet that would give a little bit of a decent, layman kind of, because I'm not used to this kind of thing. So I can't just look at it and go, oh, I know exactly what that is. But it was trying to explain his autism and the level or spectrum that he's on, and, the high intelligence, the angry outbursts and stuff like that, Yes. And so, but see, here's where it gets weird, because a lot of times when I try to do that, especially when it's something like the mail order stuff, look, I know there's a crap ton of those out there. Okay. You can just, listen later when you can. I get it. Phone rings, go ahead. But when I described my mail order business to him, the first thing out of his mouth was cutting it down and more or less making me feel like I'm wasting my time even trying it, and that he's very unsupportive in that sense. So how is it fair for me to support him, but I can't get the same in return? I mean, he's the longest relationship I've had. And, I'm not saying there aren't Virgos and Capricorns out there that do get along, but all I can say is we don't. I mean, we have the dark side of us is brutal. I mean, the arguments have been so bad sometimes that either one or both of us are ready to walk out the door in tears. And, we're just sniping at each other. I never get a break. I have nowhere that I can go to just kind of chill, go out with a friend, go out by myself, but it's hard to do any of that when you have limited money to be able to keep gas in the tank, to be able to, keep your sanity and stay in a positive mood all the time. And that's just not easily done. But some of the, excuse me, goodness. Now I'm being a gas bag here. I don't know what's making me belch so much. Probably one of the ones that made me feel the most threatened, I would say, as far as spirits, is I called it the red-eyed monster, simply because I never saw the red eyes, but I definitely felt the energy there. And me and a group of witches got together, and we went to this guy's house that was also a witch. And we had just met him at the witch's ball that same night. And I believe we all ended up, that's okay. I get it. Like I said, you can always listen to the parts you miss later. That's okay. Phone, I know sometimes is important. You never know. But there was this, this guy, he lived in a really nice house. Okay. And it was in the middle of this big ass field. I remember that. It was out in the country somewhere. He had a lot of different types of animals in cages and stuff. And I don't think he was doing it to abuse them. I think he was actually keeping them as pets and, raising them, feeding them, all that kind of stuff, or just for the companionship. And so we all went to his place, and he was talking about these red eyes that he kept seeing up on this one floor in his house. That was it was like a corner, and that whole area was really, really dark. And that floor you had to be careful on, because I think it was the middle room. Oh, yeah. Well, I can relate because I'm telling you, man, SSI is kicking my butt too because I mean, 967 a month. I'm sorry, but and even though that's what me and Chris both get, it's not enough. We still can't afford to live. And, I just wish that he could be more supportive to something like this mail order business I'm trying to get started. Because I did it because it was low cost to get it started. And now I'm waiting for my postcards, my post stamps, and my leads to come in the mail. But that's not going to probably be until sometime in October because I asked Mr. Lindsay, Lon Lindsay. Yeah, I hope you do, Dragon. I hope you do. I will definitely light a candle and ask the goddess to, help you and the God and the spirits and whatever, your beliefs. Please help my friend because, there's so much going on in the world and it's such a scary place anymore. But anyway, so we went up and I don't know what drove me to do this, but I was like, well, if you want me to see what this thing is and see if we can't like get it out of here, okay, let's do it. So we went up there, we went to the area where he said it dwelled, and I felt the energy immediately. And it was very threatening, it was very menacing, it was very negative, very dark. And I just my witch stinks, I call them, your instincts, when your gut's telling you to do something, said get a bucket, put some like some like wood, or small pieces of wood and small twigs and different, so you don't want too big of a fire, okay? But fire can be cleansing depending on how you use it, right? So I felt like bucket, fire, and this chant came to me, and it's only a partial chant for a ritual or spell or something, but this part of it always stood out to me. So I had everybody, I don't remember if we joined hands or not, or I had them join hands or whatever, and I was kind of standing off by myself. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure of that term, omnistic, but I'm very open, to like other religions and stuff too. I would never tell somebody, oh, come and become Wiccan because I'm doing it. No, it's got to be in here. You got to feel it in here. And what you feel in here is usually right. That's what you should go with. That's the spiritual path you're meant to be on. So, and that's what I tell people. It's like, don't do this just because I'm doing it, because it might not be for you. Now, if you want to try it to see what it's like, yeah, go for it, because Wicca is nothing but positive. We don't do dark stuff, period. So the chant, interesting enough, is I banish you by the power of the goddess and God. I banish you by the power of the sun, moon, and stars. I banish you by the power of earth, air, fire, water. And then I would say, dark spirit, be gone. And then we just kept repeating that and repeating that and repeating that. And I'm telling you, dude, this was the trippiest part of this whole thing. Because of where I was standing, there was like a door, and it was like a kind of like a crawl space or something, I guess, of sort. You could store stuff in there, but the door was never got opened or anything for any reason. So I had no reason to open it. I am in that corner. We had the bucket about the middle of that area where that thing was. And the bucket was good size. And we had that fire going, dude. That fire got so high, it almost went to the ceiling. And that's saying something, trust me, because this was a big house. And I remember I was like completely flattened up against this one corner because this thing was trying so hard to catch me on fire. And it's not like I was wearing something flammable or anything of the sort. It was trying to harm me. It literally was trying to harm me because it knew that I was taking its butt out and it didn't like it. But it wasn't just me that did it. I had help. There was at least half a dozen of us. And when you got that kind of power together and you got like-minded people that are positive themselves, they do light magic themselves, and it's like turning on a freaking spotlight on this thing, and it's like, ah! So we got rid of it. As far as I know, I never heard about it again. I had to stop being around that guy because he ended up turning out to be a Fruit Loop and the cornflakes, meaning he had mental issues. He was dangerous. So we just stopped associating with him. And I feel bad for the lady that he was with because they were both Aries. They were both the sign of Aries, and you got double fire right there. Yeah, so I guess in a way I kind of consider myself eclectic because I try to be open to different types. Like I have no problem with Buddhism to a point. I love the Indian gods, Kali, Ganesha, Sarasvati, all them. Hard-headed. Well, yes, in that spirit, yeah, I can be hard-headed. I'm definitely a very stubborn Capricorn. But so I know it's possible, and it's a good feeling when you can get rid of something that dangerous. But like I said, I had help. I mean, I'm glad that we did, and I hope the thing never comes back or whatever. But after that situation, I was like, oh, wow, I guess we can do that. Okay, cool. But it never became a thing. Like, because I mean, I'm decent at cleansing. I'm not saying I'm professional and I can just snap my fingers and, the bad goes away. No, but I have a ritual that I use that all you have to have is a bell, white sage, or if you can't get white sage or it's just not available for some reason, just use regular sage. Because remember, it's all about the intent, right? Salt, holy water, or blessed water, because I mean, being witches, we have various different methods. I'm sure that we can bless water and make it the equivalent of holy water, and it's real simple, easy spell, ritual to do. You, depending on like if you're living in an apartment or a house or whatever it is, you're supposed to start the ritual and saying the words in the farthest most place in the house, like the farthest most room or the farthest most corner of the back of the house or something of that nature, that also has a door that you can get in and out of, like to go out into the backyard or whatever. And you basically, you take the holy water, you take the bell, and this is the tricky part. Yeah, Celtic, because eclectic, the way I understand it, like I don't know a whole lot about it, but the way I understand it is you're open-minded to many different forms of magic. I've done voodoo, I've done the India stuff, I've done, I don't know, I guess it's Irish magic in a way. Can't really say if I've done any German magic, but there's spells that I've done in the past that I can like call up at will still to this day and word for word remember it. Okay, wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything you said. But yeah, that entity and collusion about that thing, I felt threatened, and it wasn't, see, this is what drove me though. I wasn't the only one threatened. It was the other innocents there because of me. Okay, because they wanted to help. And I was like, okay, cool, let's do this. And yeah, we did it. But the one middle room, if you go too far into the one middle room at the top, on the top floor, because this place I'm pretty sure was a 2-floor. I don't think it had like a basement or an attic of sorts or anything. But if you walked too far into that middle room, there was a big ass hole in the floor, and you would be going down, and you could break a leg or something worse, depending on how you fall, it could be fatal, right? So you got to be careful. So I would never go in that room, of course. I think I remember like it was one weekend or something. I needed some laundry done. I didn't have any money. I didn't have anybody else that could let me borrow like a washer and dryer that had it. I was living in Marysville at the time in a trailer. Ow. Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks. Yeah, because see, I'm still learning too. So, any insight that other witches can give me, I welcome it, because, it's one of those you never, you can never learn too much, right? Like as far as like dark stuff, the farthest that I would go is especially if it's somebody fairly new to the craft. My concern is about them and their well-being, because they're so vulnerable and can be easily swayed, and it can get them in trouble. So I don't want that to happen, because it happens too much. And depending on the situation, say you grew up in an abusive home, that just adds fuel to the fire. So the dark ones, if you do have any light inside of you, they're going to try to squash it. They're going to try to take it away. And how strong you are or how much strength you have backing you, somebody that's like a seasoned witch like me, I consider myself a grand high witch simply because I've been doing it as long as I have, because I've been doing it for like 33 years. Exactly. See, you're right there with me. Cool. My friend Dragon, he's from a Beardo and them that Chris likes to watch, the Debunkers. We did this Christmas thing last year when Noah was here, and Noah was in it. Remember, you watched it because Chris put it on out here. This is my friend Norma. She just came back in. She's been busy today too. So, but I would teach people about the dark side, how to protect themselves against it. Because see, when I was in Marysville, he's like, hi, Norma. I was in Marysville and I had a group of teenagers that were friends of my oldest son, Michael, at the time. But Children's Services stepped in and took Michael away from me, and I played hell getting him back. So, but his friends became my kids. I became their surrogate mom, and they knew I was a witch. They knew I studied magic. They wanted to learn. I was like, okay. I said, I will tell you what I know, just if for no other reason to help you better understand it. But I'm not saying if I teach you this, that means that's going to make you Wiccan. No, you can read books about any type of religion or magic, and that's not the same as practicing it. It's a whole nother ball game in your mind and everywhere, your spirit, your mind, your heart. It all has to feel right in everywhere. That's the most important, because if it don't, then you're asking for trouble, right? Uh-huh. So these kids became my kids, and I did try to guide them as positively as I could. I tried to warn them, this is how the dark ones work. This is what they will do. They will gain your trust. They will act like they're your best friend in the whole wide world. They will help you find stuff, and they'll just seem like all kinds of friendly. And then they start terrorizing you, because they're breaking down your defenses. They're breaking through your barriers because they want to nail your ass and make you one of them. They want to squelch your light because they don't have a light themselves. So they're doomed for all eternity to snuff out everybody else's they can get their hands on. You ain't getting this bitch. Not if I can help it. I'll fight tooth and nail all along the way. But probably another one that was really scary for me was, this whole Goozion thing, which I'll get to more in a minute. But so I tried to guide my kids positively. I tried to, there was a time when all my utilities had been shut off in Marysville, and I'm in the trailer by myself, and I'm trying to figure out, what am I going to do now? I'm here alone. How am I going to do this? I got really depressed. I got down to the point that I was thinking of unaliving myself, and came pretty close. And one of my kids felt it so strongly that she literally made another one of my kids that had a van and said, we got to go. Janet's in trouble. We got to go now. And she would not stop until they both got in the van and came to my place. And it literally saved my life. Exactly. And you have to learn to determine, which is which, granted, yes, some of the fairies, they can make you think they're anything you want them to be, and they're really not. It's, for me, there's been times when it's like, well, I'm not so sure if this is a fairy or a dark one, but I just feel the dark energy. So that's just where my mind goes, that whatever this essence is, or this energy is, it's dark. I have definitely had some bad experiences with the Unseelie court. That was definitely not fun, because I felt like I was being wrongfully punished and I didn't do anything to deserve it. Because I went to it was some kind of witch gathering one time years ago. It was in the wintertime. It was in February. We were doing an Imbolc related thing because, February 2nd is Imbolc. So a lot of people, a lot of witches especially, will try to get together as close to the actual holiday as they can. So it was a group of us. I didn't really know these people that well, and I don't even know if there was a single one in there that I knew. but somehow I fell upon them or found out about them. So we all go to this park, and I remember right when we arrived, this one lady's telling me that, oh, by the way, we opened a portal here a year ago and forgot to close it. Oops. And I'm like, oh no. I mean, think about the danger. Yes, yes. So, again, I mean, I have strong ties with the fairies, absolutely, but sometimes I can't even, it's hard for me to decipher which one it is. I can't zero in because when I'm open like this and I'm the conduit, oh my gosh, there's so much that comes through. It's like, whoa, time out, time out, time out, brain gonna explode. And it's like all the spirits know that I'm open, so they're like, woo, like bees to honey. And I'm like, whoa, chill, calm down, guys, one at a time, form a line. I'll do my best, but I'm not making any promises here. But the Guzyan thing was, it was a paranormal investigation I watched years ago with a certain paranormal group, which I will not mention because I'm just plausible deniability, right? I'm not trying to start any crap, because this was one that I really enjoyed. I really got a lot out of it until Chris ruined it for me by, getting into the whole debunking thing. Now, granted, I have to agree, I don't like the fakers either, but sometimes it's hard to determine how you catch them, right? So, like with Chris's technological skills, he would be among the first, or at least high on the list of being able to figure out what's been faked, what's not. Okay, maybe this is real, kind of thing. But yes, fairies can have a very weird sense of humor. So when we were getting ready to walk into this forest, we did a prayer and we asked for safe passage through the forest. Okay. And we were given that. But then from the time we did our little walk, we didn't really do any magic or anything or ritual ceremony or anything of that nature. It was just a walk, to celebrate it, pretty easy, right? So we were at the end of it. I had a bottle of fairy dust with me, and I gave it as an offering to them. I literally opened it and dumped the whole thing. And I said, thank you for allowing us safe passage, and everything. And we pretty much left it at that. Now, if they closed the portal, then I don't remember. But here's the thing that I felt was unfair. One, they didn't tell me until it was I was already about ready to walk in the forest. Hang on, my turn. Phone. It's Chris. Yeah. Oh, good. Good. Okay. Well, I'm doing a live stream right now, and guess who's on? Dragon Ranger. Remember our buddy, but from the he's from the Beardo group, or he came on when we did the Christmas thing last year with Noah. No One Alone for Christmas. Yeah, he's on here talking to me right now. Okay. 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 Ow. Okay. 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 Yeah, just call me or whatever and let me know when you're down there in case I'm not looking out the window at the time and I don't hear the alarm when you put it on the car. He's asking me to go down and help him Dragon when he gets back from the store. That's all. And he's telling me the stuff that he got, and he was able to get into the pawn shop. Thank you. To get what he needed to get cash items we needed and stuff. Okay. So yeah, just call me when you're here and I'll come down and help you. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. And see, some of the things that I struggle with too is, to get back to me and Chris for a moment. When we fight or have an argument, it's brutal. I mean, like really, 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 really bad, right? And I know it kind of, it's like, the way I describe it, it's like 1 minute everything's fine, the next minute it's like somebody, random person just came in, dropped a bomb in the middle of the room, and everything went boom. And I'm like, what the hell was that? What just happened? And why? There has been some stuff that he has done in the past that literally, I mean, it terrified the crap out of me. I'm not saying he beat on me or anything of that sort, because that's not the case. But the abuse is verbal, mental, and emotional, and sometimes even spiritual. And I try not to do that to him, but I'm not saying I'm perfect either. I have often tried to discuss things with him to where we could sit down and, like couples are supposed to be able to do, especially if they truly love each other, resolve the situation together and be able to talk about it, and not be yelling and screaming at each other and giving each other the third degree, because that's not helping. That's making things worse. So, but he, like one instance, oh wow, food, yay.
Puerto Rican.
Okay. Hey, you want some chicken? Chicken and Spanish rice.
I made that. My daughter made that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sweetie.
That's your dinner.
Yay, dinner.
Because you say you don't know what you want.
Thank you, goddess.
And where's Chris?
He is at the store, and he's when he gets back here, he's gonna let me know so he can, if you keep an eye out the window, and when you see him pull up, go down, start helping bring the groceries up if you can. And if you guys need me, just let me know, because I got Dragon on here, so I'm trying to enjoy this.
All
because
right,
this is literally the first time we've been able to talk since the Christmas thing last year.
You understand?
Huh?
So Chris, I made dinner. We made dinner for him.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
But you didn't know what you were going to eat, so.
Yeah, we didn't. So I'm just thankful for anything right about now. I don't remember what he said he got for food. So.
Now that rice is a little bit different because it's more salt.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
It's more salt. Taste it.
Oh, I believe you. Hang on, Dragon. I'm gonna go put these in the fridge for the moment, because.
You better cover it up first.
Yeah, I know. That's why I've got the saran wrap. I'm just not really great at wrapping it, but I'll try.
Give me it.
Because the saran wrap, I don't want to use a whole lot of it. I need to learn.
Well,
sis.
Go ahead.
I need to learn.
Go ahead.
Because this stuff is just so sticky. You got to be careful, because it folds over on itself, and it just, just makes it really hard.
A good bag?
What?
Look like a bag. You know the bag. The plastic ones.
Like, you mean baggies or something? Put it in? No. I don't think I don't think we've gotten any of them for a long time.
You need to get.
Oh, fuck! There goes. See what I mean? Son of a bitch! Oh, I hate this fucking saran wrap sometimes. Hang on, Dragon. I'm trying to. This freaking thing just came unrolled like really bad. I'm trying to roll it back up to where the amount that I need. Oh, yeesh.
Yeah, you want to learn? Go right ahead.
Yeah, because I know I need to, and
Why?
it's well, because there's going to be times when it's going to be required to use, and there's no one else around, so I need to know what I'm doing.
You mean what
I need to learn how to do it.
Well, Chris.
Because I know, like, one of the big things with saran wrap is you got to get it on there snug. So that's the tricky part for me, because, like I said, it folds in on itself, making it dang near impossible to get it tightly wrapped enough. I know.
Okay.
I'm going to have to put another piece on there, because when that thing came unraveled, now I'm dealing with that. Ah! See what I mean? It's like, oh my God.
I don't use that.
I can't even do this.
I really don't use that, and I got some downstairs.
Well, you're welcome to bring it up here because I definitely can use it.
I already used the other one. The one closed.
Yeah, I mean, aluminum foil's not bad either. Aluminum foil.
Well, I don't use aluminum foil. I use the clear.
But at least with the clear wrap, you can see it a lot better too.
Yeah.
There you go. So I'm not sure when we'll get around to eating this, but at least it's an option. So I think he said he was like gonna grab some lasagna or something like that.
Well, you already got some.
Yep, thank you. So just if you can keep an eye out, and if you see him out there, I mean, and I will still go down to help him. It's just,
I'll keep an eye, okay?
yeah, thank you. Yeah, she was Norma. She's real sweet. She brought us up. It's like a chicken leg or something, I think, and some Spanish rice. And she brought it up in 2 bowls. Her and her daughter are downstairs at her place, cooking together and stuff because her daughter's been real bad sick the past 6 days. So she's, recouping from that and everything. And, we have to be careful. Anybody that's around Chris has to be careful because his immune system being compromised because he did the radiation and the chemo for a whole month. So if he gets like sick by somebody else that's sick, it can be fatal to him anymore, and that just makes the stress go through the roof even more. And that's what I'm trying to help us to get through without it going boom, and then who knows, who's going to be in the hospital next. But we were arguing one time, and this is the only one I'll bring up because, I don't like bringing up negative stuff, but it's just to put in perspective, it's not, even though we look like a cute couple on there's a lot of like hidden stuff that goes on and traumas that I have suffered and sacrifices that I have made constantly. And then he does too, but if we can't meet in the middle, it's just going to keep being boom. And I don't want boom no more. We've been together this long. If we're really going to get through this, then we need to both commit to it. We need to both agree to, okay, what, I thought of triggers, for instance, certain things, certain way you phrase things, even though you mean it one way, they can take it totally different and blows it out of proportion. And then it gets them upset even more. And then that's just, freaking kerosene on the fire, it's just making it worse. But there's times when I struggle with, what, I'm done. I want out. I am not succeeding in this relationship, irregardless of the fact he's the longest relationship literally that I've ever had in my entire life. But I also owe it to myself to help my new friends understand the dark side, the not so great side of things, so that they don't think every time they see us on here together, oh, you guys are so cute. Well, really, we're not. Thank you, but we're not. Because there's too many things that need to be dealt with that have never been dealt with. And when you feel like to me, when 2 people feel like they're the only ones in the relationship individually, like he said to me one time that he felt like he was the only one in this relationship. And I laughed and I was like, that's funny because that's the way I feel too. Now, if we both feel like we're the only one, then why are we together? I mean, because that to me just seems detrimental to a loving relationship like it's supposed to be, and being raised by people that made him brainwash this poor guy for the longest time into thinking he was a POS and couldn't do anything right. Piece of, caca. Okay. And this was his whole family. He didn't get along with siblings. He didn't get along with mom and dad very good. He got falsely accused of breaking his dad's arm when he was on a ship in the middle of the ocean somewhere doing his Navy thing, and he was nowhere around. So how exactly did he break his arm? But he got blamed for breaking his dad's arm, and it wasn't him at all. He wasn't there. His dad and mom are both gone now. And my kids, they love him. They call him dad. They relate to him. And I don't want to take that away, but they don't even know the dark side of things and why the struggles are so great and why Sometimes I just want to leave and not come back because I can't take it. It is too much for one person, and it just keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming, keeps coming. And, with my deep sensitivity, that don't help, because when somebody hurts me, okay, when somebody hurts me, I take it it hurts me on a deep level. And even though it's completely accidental, they're not meaning to hurt me, they're not trying to hurt me or say the things that hurt me or trigger me in any way, it does sometimes happen. So what I have to do is I have to check myself when it happens. I have to calm myself down, think about what I need to say to them so that we can minimize this happening again. And it's a two-way street. Once you can learn each other's triggers, then you can kind of work through those and say, okay, if you say this, but you say it this way, this is how I take it. Even though you mean it in a good way, I take it in a bad way. I take it into the negative. And then, of course, he has this whole Jekyll and Hyde syndrome. On his good days, yeah, he's decent enough guy. On his bad days, I just want to walk out the door and just disappear for a few hours because I don't want to be around him, because then he's acting like he has grumpy old man syndrome, and I don't need that. I do not deserve that. We're struggling financially like a lot of people right now, and I even tried to get my landlord recently to reduce my rent down, and he refuses to do it, yet he takes Section 8 for this house, this building. And there's a couple of people in here that are under Section 8. And the way I understand it, they're only paying like $100 a month in rent. Now, if I could only pay $100 a month in rent for this place, to me, it would be more worth it, because then it would give me the majority of my check to be able to live on, to be able to get my personal stuff paid, get my credit cards paid off so I can close out those accounts, because I'm never going back to those. I've got 2 new credit cards. I'm doing decent with those. I'm just sticking with those until I can get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next level. But they won't review your usage and percentage of usage for at least 6 months. So I've only had my self card and my Open Sky for, my Open Sky I've had barely a week, I think. But my self card I've had for a few months already. So, because I got it first, because it's low security deposit, it was only $100. So I punched into a calculator, what is 30% of 100? Because I know the spend bracket for an amount that low when you're just starting out is $30. Because I said, what is 30% of 100? And it said 30. So I'm like, okay, so roughly $30 is what you have to use. And then if you go over that, it's okay, as long as you make sure you pay off the full balance of however much you went over. I've already gone over with my self card and my Open Sky this time, because sometimes I'm out at McDonald's. I'm trying to get us a meal for the night. So we've got dinner because our cupboards are bare. We don't have anything else. My food stamps don't get loaded again until the 18th of this month. And here it is, only the 10th. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's like 8 days yet. Food pantries are difficult to get into around here, because one of them that I called recently, or was going to call and try to set up an appointment with them, they're called Victory Ministries. But with them, you have to set up an appointment to be able to get in there. You can't just walk in the door. Okay. Oops. I got to go into contacts. Where's my contacts? Where is that? What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Now I can't remember what I'm looking for. Contacts, where you at? I was looking for something in here, and now I can't remember what. What was I looking for? Here we go. Victory Ministries. Hang on a minute. Okay, I've got to get the keypad up. Excuse me. Hello, this is Janet Feinstein. I know you guys are booked through September, but I would like to set up an appointment to come in October as early as possible. As soon as you guys got an opening, give me a call when you can and let me know if that's doable, because my cupboards are pretty bare and I've got 8 days before my food stamps are even loaded. So I'm kind of struggling here, and finding other food pantries open is easier said than done. Not to mention having the gas to get to them, and stuff. And you got to go on certain days and whatnot. So 614-323-1620 is my number. Give me a call back and let me know how soon I can get in there. Thanks, and blessed be. Sorry about that, Dragon, if you're back. But now you got my phone number. Feel free, if you feel comfortable. I'm not trying to push it, okay? If you feel comfortable enough to call my number sometime, just to say hey, or when you're, just need somebody to talk to, man, I'm here. But if it goes into voicemail, that just means the usual. Either I'm busy doing something else, or I'm not in the room, or my phone's in my purse and I'm driving somewhere, so I can't get to you right away. I can't answer back right away. And I also have to keep an eye on my pop here to make sure it doesn't get full of roaches, because we got roaches and bed bugs still really bad, which is embarrassing and humiliating. And because I don't, even if friends did want to come over and hang out, I'd be afraid to have them here, because I don't want to give them these things. I mean, it's bad enough that I'm constantly I'm constantly getting fed on. My blood is like some freaking drug they can't get enough of. And I have to spray down my side of the bed multiple times throughout the night just to keep them at bay and keep them from biting me. But then once it dries to a certain point and the scent dies, then, well, guess what? Unless I'm sleeping really good, they start biting on me again. And it's like, it really makes it hard to get a good night's sleep a lot of times, because you're constantly being fed on, you're constantly being bitten, which causes you to itch, and then you got to spray yourself down again. And because Chris and his health issues, he likes to keep the air conditioner between 68 and 70 or 72. Here recently, he told me to go ahead and turn it up to 70, because I had it on 72 one of the nights that he was, I was waiting for him to come back. Okay. And they're yelling at me. So I'll leave this running. Maybe we'll get some cool manifestations. Let me know. And I'm going to throw my shoes on and go down and help them, because apparently they need the help. But I'll leave this going, because I'm sure, Chris may want to say hello and, speak a few things or whatever. Because like I said, we haven't talked to you since Christmas, and that was brief. So this is the first time we've been able to talk to you since that happened. So I'll be right back. I'm coming. Mommy needs the counter space. I've got stuff to put away here. Ah! Look out, Bella. If I can find somewhere to shoehorn this in. Because I figure no point putting it in the freezer. He's going to be probably fixing it here soon. I don't know where he wants his. Oh, look out, Boo. Ibuprofen. Sorry about that. I had to go help them. Whew. Oh man. See, even I get winded. Just trying to bring up 2 bags of groceries that aren't even that heavy. But it feels like I'm freaking carrying a ton. Chris is downstairs and outside talking to one of our neighbors. That her and her husband, they're like 2 of a very short list of people we know around here. Chris got us lasagna for dinner. So what I'll probably do is I'll leave my chicken and rice in there and maybe have it for like, I don't know, lunch tomorrow or something. But I don't do chicken with bones. I prefer like chicken strips or something like that because I don't know what it is. The only thing that I've been able to make sense of as a possibility of what it is I have a phobia of eating chicken that has bones in it that I can actually see. Because it's not always just the bones that you see, but the veins and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh God, no, I can't do that. It'll make me sick every time. Is it psychological? I'm pretty sure. Do I like chicken? Yes, but I just don't. I prefer boneless, at least boneless. And I'm pretty sure that either I myself in a past life, which I don't know how far back or anything yet, but I may discover that one of these times if it's something that I'm meant to know. Otherwise, if it's going to do me more damage knowing, then I don't want to know. But either I had to engage in this myself or it happened to me. And that was cannibalism, because that's where my mind goes, when, I see the bones and I see the veins. I feel like I'm eating a person, even though I know I'm not. And it really messes with me. So, and I mean, I'm not like vegan or anything necessarily, but I'm very limited as to what types of meat I'll eat. Like I can do red meats, to a point. I try to do chicken with a lot of stuff because it's at least a lighter meat and you don't have a bunch of like bad cholesterol in it, and things of that nature that's no good for you. But Chris and I just feel like we just have a long way to go yet. And to be honest, I want out. I wish I had a place I could go that was just that I could be by myself, that I could live by myself, and then at least part of the time, and then part of the time be here still as well. I don't want to move too far away from my mom because her being 94 and her health not being the greatest either, we don't know how much longer she's going to be here. So every day is a blessing, and I count it as such. But at the same time, I need to start learning to put my foot down more and tell my people when they're expecting too much from me that, guys, you're overwhelming me here. You're expecting too much from me, and I'm only one person. I can't be the fixer for everybody. Now, why is he calling? Yes? I do? Okay. All right. What? Okay. I kind of figured because, I wasn't about to put it in the freezer because I knew we were getting ready to eat it. So you want me to do that first and then come down and get my package? All right. Give me a minute then, because I'm going to have to get my glasses on, go in there, get it back out of the fridge, get it open, and do what, get all the pans and stuff out of the oven so I can cook it. All right. I'll be down in a few. Love you. Yay! I got a package. Yeah, it should be okay for a while. I will, I was looking at the battery on this to see what that was like, if the battery was good, because sometimes I worry about plugging it in too much and then frying the battery because I'm plugging it in so much. He's wanting me to get this started now. And I'm like, oh, that's just great. So I got a lot of stuff I got to move because these apartments are so tiny. That our pan storage is inside the oven, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that. I'm not the only 70s, 80s, 90s chick on the planet. Oh, you mean with the cannibalism thing? Yeah, it's, I don't know. But all I do know is that in the past, when I have tried to eat chicken like that had bones, and I could see the bones and I could see the veins, it was just like, nope, can't do it. Sorry. Okay, is that everything? All right. Gotta go over here and get the lasagna out, because this is the time of day that we usually have dinner. See, this is dinner. A lot of times he'll try to get and this is a family size, so he'll get a family size because that way, it's a lot, and just eat till you're full and then put the rest away. Leave film on tray, do not vent. Cook on high for 9 minutes. Continue cooking on 50% power for 16 minutes, 10 seconds. Let's stand for 5. So let's go first step here. Well, second. Cooking it on high for 9 minutes and no venting. So, welcome to Janet's dinner live stream. So when did I do wait, I only did 8 minutes, didn't I? Oops. Okay, hang on. I got to redo this. There we go. Oh boy. But yeah, I mean, red meat, I can eat. Steak, I can eat. No problem. And yeah, they have bones, and it does not bother me. But when it comes to chicken, forget it. Ain't happening. Just, nope. Can't do it. Modern phones and laptops will bypass the battery when it's full, so don't worry about that. Yeah, I've just heard from other techies and people especially that are more technologically inclined with computers and stuff related to computers than I am right now. But they say that if you plug it in all the time and you have it plugged in all the time, even though you're not actually physically using it, but it's still drawing power, you can burn through a battery and what seems like nothing flat. And I definitely can't afford to replace the battery in this right now. And it's the only laptop that I can do my live streams on because my 2-in-1's being a female dog, BITCH. And every time I try to do a live stream on that, the little circle just spins and spins and spins and it never stops. And then I get impatient and then I'm like, okay, forget it. I can't do this one. So then I have to fire up my laptop here and it takes forever to fire up because it's so doggone slow. I don't know if there's any more memory that can be put in it. Even if there is, I don't know that I would know where to put it. So if it comes down to me tearing my laptop apart to do it, I'm not going to feel comfortable doing that because I don't want to break something that can't be fixed. And then I'm out a computer altogether because I don't know how to do a live stream on my phone. I mean, I know how to do video, and I guess that's kind of the same or similar. And I've done that a couple times, but the secret books that I've been working with have really helped me a lot because they, it's basically, it's just teaching you how to live in gratitude, right? And true gratefulness every day. But this one is, 28 days. So for 28 days, you're doing these different assignments. It's from this book here, Magic by Rhonda Byrne, and it is part of the Secret series because you can see the secret up there and its little symbol there and stuff. I'm up to day 13, and you're supposed to do like a grateful list every day. Write down 10 things that you are grateful for. You can use the same ones over and over again if you can't think of different ones to use, because the philosophy or whatever behind the secret stuff is the more if you appreciate all that you have, the more you will be blessed with. If you don't appreciate all that you have, you will lose everything. There's so many people in the world that, some of us are good at it, some of us not so great about taking things for granted. It'll be here tomorrow, or that person's going to be with me forever, and then some horrible illness befalls them and, they're no more. And now you're trying to figure out how to survive. You're trying to figure out, where do I go from here? What's my next move? Because housing, especially in everything right now, is really hard to get into. It's stupid expensive. And when you're on a fixed income already, it's just like damn near impossible to get anywhere, to even remotely get ahead, because you've got bills coming at you. You're trying to keep gas in the car. You've got a crap ton of appointments sometimes. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. This is too much. And I never get time to myself. But basically to like try to do the short version of the whole Guzion thing. Guzion is the 11th Duke of Hell, or so I have been told by one of the other like psychics or whatever that I'm kind of familiar with on YouTube. And I'm going to go ahead. I think I still have it out here. Or did I put it in the wash? No, I put it in the wash. I was going to put on one of my headband things because when my hair's sticking up funky like this, I don't like it. It bugs me because it's like this side is like I'm wearing a freaking marshmallow on my head or something. But I have my little flower headbands here. And normally I would put on a purple one because the color of the day is purple by the color chart I go by. So like, even if I can just wear something that's purple, like my pants that I'm wearing here, they're purple. And if you're wondering what my shirt says, it's live by the sun, love by the moon. And I have a foot mat, welcome mat in front of one of my doors in the hallway. And then the other one is basically, it's a chant or some words that you say using the 4 elements, and it's all right there on it. So I need to find a unique way to get all 4 of the elements near it, under it, or something, but not in a spot where we're going to be stepping on it and then making a mess. But it's basically using the 4 elements in a way to bring in the good energy. As you probably know, with others that lives that I've done, live streams, sometimes I'll do cards. Sometimes I'll do the spell of the day. Sometimes I'll do the goddess of the day. And I have 2 books that you can use over and over and over again every day of the month of every year. And you can just keep repeating. And there's a lot of them I have done. And then there's a lot of them that I have not. But before I get off topic again, I got to go find, where did I put my glasses? Ah, man, I'll tell you. Now I got to go find my glasses. Hang on. Another witchy crazy day, apparently. Now, how I found out about Guzyan was this psychic that I followed. And I still kind of, I mean, I haven't watched one of her lives or anything in a long time, but she, oh no, I know what it was. The Paranormal Files was one that I was watching one time, and they had this chick that they did an interview with and that claimed her place was haunted. And, you know, that demons are the best things that walk the earth besides, you know, like sliced cheese. And she's like, I talk with demons every day. And she had absolutely no fear of them whatsoever. So little does she know, of course, you know, what's going to be the price of their services here. That's what you've got to think about, because usually the price is too high. They're just trying to squelch your light. They're trying to get you to their side because they're drawn to the amount of power that some people have, the brightness of the light, you know, that can light up the darkest room, you know, and that's just the whole ongoing battle between good and evil. It never ends. What we have to do is maintain the balance within ourselves, that it doesn't tip, you know, definitely one way or the other. Like, it can't be completely all candy and roses, but at the same time, you don't want it to be all beetles and bugs and bad things either. So I watched this one thing they did one time with this one chick, and they believe through one of the ghost apps that they were receiving communication from this Guzyan. And so I was like, you know what? I mean, this little thing, she looks like she's, you know, pretty decent person and whatever. I'm going to check Guzyan out myself. I'm going to reach out to him, because you can't live in fear either. I mean, yeah, it's scary sometimes to know about some of them, because when you know about them, they know about you. Hang on, I got to go check this. I'll just leave the computer there this time because it's kind of heavy to keep carrying around in the room. All right. The gist of it is that you gotta like stir it. That's where I kept the box. 60 minutes, 10 seconds. Okay, so 16 minutes, 10 seconds more. I just hope it doesn't like overcook it or anything. Be right there, Dragon. Hang on. Okay. Welcome to Lady J or Janelle's witchy, busy, crazy day. Because this is how a lot of my days usually are. I was checking the lasagna to see if it was, and I read the box again to make sure that I didn't like oversee or skip over. You know, some of them you cook them for a certain amount of time, then you peel back the film, you stir it to even everything out and whatever, and to get your sauce evenly on everything, and then you put it back in for an additional, this time it's like 16 minutes, 10 seconds. So I just did the 16 minutes. I didn't do the 10 seconds. But when the 16 minutes is up and it goes off again, I'll go in there and check it. This time I will peel the film back and I'll see if I can determine in some safe way rather, if it needs that extra 10 or if it's fine, because we have a pretty high powered microwave. So, it can take stuff to cook less time than, say, one of the lower ones or lower end ones or whatever. So hopefully when it comes out in 16 more minutes, it'll be ready to go. And then it'll just be a matter of dishing it up, cutting it, dishing it up. But he's still downstairs outside talking to our neighbor. So I guess the only thing I can do is like maybe holler out the window at him and say, dinner, get your butt up here. Excuse me. I'm just getting rid of something here. It's this game window that pops up. Come on, load, you stupid thing. Because until you load, I can't see the X to get out of it. And it's being a putz. Oh well, I guess I'll have to try it here in a minute. Come on. What are you doing? Oh, this thing is so slow. It's not even funny. There we go. I'll just have to mess with it here in a few minutes and see if I can get it to. It's this like game thing, this down here that automatically loads. So what I try to do is I try to wait until it loads, then I go into it and X out, because as slow as this thing is already, I don't want to slow it down even more by having something running that I'm not using, that don't need to be running. But I'm going to change topic and tactic here so I can get this read and continue on with my secret thing. And hope that, that some people at least follow along with it and start using it to see how positively they can change their own lives. Make all your wishes come true. If you have been following the magical practices day by day, you have now built an amazing foundation by practicing gratitude for everything you have received and continue to receive in your life. But today is an exciting day because you're going to begin to use gratitude's magical power for your dreams and desires. This is my cat, Kalika. She's my familiar. Always wanting on my lap, always wanting my attention at the worst possible times. Hundreds of native cultures through the centuries have traditionally given thanks for what they want before they receive it, creating elaborate ceremonies to put as much energy as they could into giving thanks. The Egyptians have celebrated the flooding of the Nile River since ancient times to ensure the continual flow of water in the river. Okay. American Indians and Australian Aborigines perform rain dances. Various African tribes perform ceremonies for their food before they hunt for it. And the very nature of prayer in every culture and religion is giving thanks before having received what is desired. The law of attraction says that like attracts like, which means you must form in your mind a likeness or an image of what you want. Then, to attract your desire to you, you have to feel as though it's yours, so that how you feel is also like how you would feel when you had what you wanted. The easiest way to do that is to be grateful for what you want before you've received it. If it never occurred to you before to use gratitude to receive what you want, you have now discovered another of its magical powers. The very words in the Holy Scriptures promise exactly that. Whoever has gratitude now will be given more in the future, and he or she will have an abundance. Gratitude is something you must have before you can receive, not something that you simply do after something good has happened. Most people are grateful after they receive something good, but to make all your wishes come true and change your entire life by filling it with riches in every area, you must be grateful before and after. Okay. Through the act of being sincerely grateful for receiving your desire beforehand, you immediately form an image in your mind that you have it. You feel as though you have it, and you're fulfilling your part. If you continue to hold to that image and feeling, you will magically receive your desire. You won't know how you'll receive it, and it is not your job to figure it out. You don't try to figure out how gravity is going to keep you on the ground when you go for a walk. Do you? You trust and know that when you go for a walk, the law of gravity will keep you firmly on the ground. Likewise, you must trust and know that when you're grateful for what you want will be magically moved to you because it is the law of the universe. What do you most want right now? At the beginning of this book, I asked you to get really clear about what you want in every area of your life. If you didn't do that earlier, now is the time to do it. Go to the lists, meaning the 10 blessings every day list, you created now, and choose your top 10 desires for this magical practice. You can select 10 desires from different areas of your life, such as money, health, home, and relationships. Or you might want to choose 10 desires in one area you really want to change, such as work or success. Be very clear and specific about what you most want so that you can see the changes magically happen from this practice. Knock it off, you two! My cats are fighting. Imagine you are putting in a magic order with the universe for your top 10 desires. Because in truth, by using the law of attraction, that's exactly what you are doing. Sit down at a computer or with a pen and journal and create a separate list of your top 10 desires in the following way, as though you've received them. Thank you, thank you, thank you for, and fill in the blank with your desire as though you've already received it. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the high marks in my exam results, which got me into the exact college I wanted. So these are basically examples. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the great news that we are having a baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you for our dream home, which has everything we wanted it to have down to the last detail. Writing thank you 3 times in a row is a powerful thing to do because it prevents you from throwing the words away and increases your focus on gratitude. Saying thank you 3 times is also a magic formula. The Holy Trinity, the Witchy Trinity, which I've always considered Maiden, Mother, and Crone. Yes, absolutely. Saying thank you 3 times is also a magic formula because it is the mathematical number of all new creation in the universe. For example, it takes 1 male and 1 female to create a baby. The male, female, and baby, total of 3, completing a new creation. The same rule of 3 applies to the creation of everything in the universe, including the creation of your desires. And so, when you say thank you 3 times in a row, you are using the magic number of creation and a secret magic formula. The second step of Make All Your Wishes Come True involves saturating your desires with even more gratitude. You can complete the second step at any time during the day today, either at the same time as listing your top 10 desires or intermittently throughout the day. To saturate each of your desires with gratitude's magical power, begin with the first desire on your list and, using your imagination, mentally answer the following questions. 1. What emotions did you feel when you received your desire? Number 2. Who was the first person you told when you received your desire, and how did you tell them? 3. What is the first great thing you did when you received your desire? Include as much detail as you can in your mind. Finally, reread each desire and really emphasize the magic words, thank you, so that you feel them as much as you can. Move on to the second desire on your list and follow the same steps with each desire. until you've completed all 10 desires. Spend at least 1 minute on each desire. If you want to do something that's really powerful and a lot of fun, you can also create a magic board where you attach pictures of your desires, cut out the pictures, and attach them to a board that's in a place where you will see it often. Place the magic words, thank you, thank you, thank you, in big bold letters on your magic board. Or you can use your refrigerator as your magic board. If you have a family, you can create a magic board as a family project because children love it. Imagine that your magic board is truly magical and that whatever you place a picture of on your board is instantly being moved towards you. Your continued gratitude for it will magnetize it all the way into your life. Now, at the end of each one of these sections, it has the magic practice.
Here,
What?
before you start on that, can you bring me a water bottle?
Yeah, hang on. I got to go take him his water. Oh, wait. Well, actually, it's on its 16-minute thing, and I didn't know how to reduce it down to half power, so I hope it doesn't like overcook it or something. So do you want me to shut it off now, or it's down to 3 minutes and something? Yeah, I'll stop it so it doesn't get too, because it's starting to get kind of dark looking. I'm not trying to ruin dinner. Okay, number 1. Count your blessings. Make a list of 10 blessings.
Here,
What?
you can't just leave that sit.
Can I let it cool down a minute before I get it out of there and peel the film back and not scald myself? It said you're supposed to let it cool for 5 minutes. Make a list of 10 blessings. Write why you're grateful. Reread your list, and at the end of each blessing, say thank you, thank you, thank you, and feel as grateful for that blessing as you can. Number 2, sit down at a computer or with a pen and journal and list your top 10 desires. Write thank you 3 times after each one as though you've already received it. For example, thank you for, and then you write down your desire. Number 3, using your imagination, answer the following questions in your mind as though you've received each of your 10 desires. Number 1, what emotions did you feel when you received your desire? Number 2, who was the first person you told when you received your desire, and how did you tell them? Number 3, what is the first great thing you did when you received your desire? Include as much detail as you can in your mind. Finally, reread the sentence listing your desires and really emphasize the magic words thank you so that you feel them as much as you can. Number 5, if you like, create a magic board, cut out pictures and attach them to your magic board, and put it in a place you see often. Title the board with thank you, thank you, thank you, in big bold letters across the top. Number 6, just before you go to sleep tonight, hold your magic rock in one hand and say the magic words, thank you for the best thing that happened during the day. So I wanted to get that done before I ended up forgetting it. Because as you can see, things are in a whirlwind again. And, I've got to go in. I got to keep an eye on the lasagna. I got to get it out here in about 5 minutes, peel back the film without hopefully scalding myself. And hopefully I didn't burn the thing to a crisp, because when it comes to microwaves, especially when it's a high-powered one, I don't know the nuances like he does of how you can do it for 16 minutes at half the power. I don't know how to do that. So, okay, I was just making sure I didn't miss anything else that you wrote. Oh, excuse me. But, golly goodness sakes. Yeehaw. A lot of these, when I do my live streams, I call them my randoms, because I try to focus on one topic each time and then, try to come up with a way to conclude that topic before I switch to another, But then sometimes I get so overwhelmed and like a bunch of things come tumbling in that I'm like speaking gibberish, because once I start on one topic, then I'm on something totally unrelated to anything I was first talking about. And in the process, getting everybody lost that's listening to me. I'm like, oh crap, I've done it again. So, welcome to my craziness. Oh, I think he's trying to get a hold of our daughter and our daughter-in-law in the UK. She's her and my son, my oldest son Michael, are not legally married yet, but I don't even know at this point that if they're still together, because she is a single mom and she has a lot of health issues herself, and she's trying to raise 3 boys, 2 of which are autistic, and she's like has this condition. She's explained to me what it is, but I can never remember it, how to say it or anything, but I can describe it. She said there's times when like literally the left side of her body, the whole left side from the head all the way down to her foot, goes numb. And, it's kind of hard to get through a day when you're going through that. And Chris is just leaving a message for Brooke and letting her know the latest on him and what's going on with him, like I did you when I was telling you about the latest that he was just going on all around us. It's like, oh my God. It's like, please, can we have some happy now? I really need some happy.
Do that. He won't know a thing.
This is my calm down. This is my coping. And I do it very responsibly. I think I have still a decent amount left. I've got 2 different containers. A dispensary opened up right up our street, like maybe a 5-minute drive, if that, from here, 5 or 10 at the most, depending on traffic, what time of day you go. Because let's face it, who wants to be out on the road at rush hour if you can help it? Not me. But they have a good strain there. Like, this is the latest one. It's called Hippie Crasher or something like that. Let me see if I can find the name. Yeah, it's called Hippie Crasher. And then this one is a different one, and it's called Afternoon Delight. And as you can see, it's a different container. This one says Rhythm. The other one's smaller, and, it says Modern Flower. So that's how I keep myself going right now with that, because I'm not doing it just to get high. I'm doing it because it helps. It's a coping mechanism for me. It helps me to calm down, and I do it responsibly. I don't get so plastered or blitzed out of my mind that I can't, function or go out and drive if I need to. And I also know the little trick of, if you're really, really like highly buzzed or something, but you absolutely have to get in the car to drive somewhere, take a purple amethyst, hold it in your hand. What I usually do is I take one of my hands, my power hand being my right hand, and I put the crystal under, my palm and hold it onto the steering wheel so that it's still in contact with my palm. And that will like clear you up like instantly, because the key thing there is getting to where you're going safe. So let me pause this and go in there and stir that and hope that I didn't destroy dinner, because if I did, he's going to have my head.
You don't do it.
Okay. Well, yeah, because it's lasagna, but I'm just saying, I hope I didn't overdo it, because I don't know how to do the half power thing.
Cool.
A little overcooked, not so bad. A lot overcooked, then that is bad. Whoops.
Excellent.
Spatula. Right. You can tell I'm not used to doing this. Don't make it. I can cut it with a spatula. So I'm sorry if I Got some of it a little crispy critter, but hopefully it's okay. That's just the top layer of stuff. It's burnt. But the majority of it seems fine to me. And I'm trying to do smaller strips too, because I don't know like what your appetite is or how much you can eat. Didn't get off the plates or anything. Here's the other. Here's the fun part. How to do this without breaking shit. Shit. That plastic thing's not cutting it with the dang. So I was gonna just get out some kind of a knife or something and cut it. Okay, then. Mine have a way, that's fine for the moment, and that way you can get yours and it's there on top of the coffee pot.
I can't carry shit. Here,
Okay, well then get yours out so I can carry it in there for you.
I gotta catch my breath. You don't seem to understand what's going on here.
Let me at least go set mine down then. So I'm not carrying 2 hot plates of food. I got, whoops. I'm about to knock my mouse on the floor. I got to go in and cut his, get his for him carried in.
Don't cook it in the microwave. Ever.
Oh, guys. Out! Bella, you're right. You need to get down because that's where Daddy's got to eat. Sorry, Dragon. Hang on. It's hard to. I don't want to set this down just anywhere because as soon as I do, the cats are going to be in it. Crazy crap. Whoo. So I'm waiting for him to. And see, this is what I mean. You know, I'm used to working or cooking stuff in the microwave, and I saw on the box that you could cook it in the microwave. So I took a chance to try and cook it, you know, because I know he's limited as to what he can do right now. So I was just trying to cook it and trying to do my best because yeah, you can put it in the oven and that I guess is the better way to do it, but I'm used to the microwave. I'm not used to doing the stuff in the oven because most of the time he's the one that does that. So I haven't had any experience of how to do that.
Read the instructions.
Yeah, I know, but I don't need to feel like you're giving me the third degree because I fucking chose microwave, not oven.
That's because you do the microwave with what it said to do. You have to pay attention to it. You can't go off doing other things.
Well, if I would have known how to drop it down to 50%, I would have. But I don't know how.
Hour 5. Move!
Down, Bella, Boo. You guys are in Daddy's spot. That's where he's got to eat. Here, I'll set it. Got it.
Oh. I'm just gonna put ice. Put pop in a glass and let some ice
Which he sucks.
so I'd have cold. But I guess not. Oh. And how much longer are you gonna be on there?
Well, I can end it right now if you like. I haven't been able to get on during the day in a while. And when I finally was able to get the thing on, I was trying to do my secret assignment thing for the day because I'm trying not to get too behind in those. And I saw the dragon was on. And the last time we was able to talk to him was Christmas.
And Dragon Ranger, I'm sorry about disturbing the live stream so much. But I just got out of the hospital.
I already told him all that.
As you can see, my breathing's not good. I can't do shit most of the time. Get your tail out of my food. Daddy's getting very frustrated with you too. Get.
Yeah, they're too used to every time we have human food that they expect to get some, and that's not good either, you know. So let me go ahead and end this, I guess, because we're eating and all that. So I'm glad I finally, came on during the time when you could be on, and I'll try to, start getting on more often during the day if I can get other stuff done, that I'm behind in. So. But thanks for coming, blessed be, and all that. And yeah, if you want to go back and listen through the live stream for anything you missed, that's cool. Blessed be, hope to see you again soon. Thanks for stopping by.
This is our time.
I hear you. Moving, yeah, that's a lot.